Gandhi said, "You may never know where results come from action, but if you do nothing, there will be no result." Prayer is not asking, it is a longing of the soul. It is the daily mission of one's weakness. It is better in prayer to have a heart without words than words without heart. Today, I invite you to come and journey into a world of prayers, where the diversity also revealed there. In a world right now, diversity is both a challenge and a strength. Prayer serves as a universal bridge that connects us among the culture, belief, and traditions. Throughout this journey, I invite you guys to have an open mind and heart to those diverse understanding of spirituality that creates a global mosaic. Let's begin by thinking about this question, and we will pass the microphone around. What does prayer mean to you? You can raise your hand if you want to answer a question, and we'll pass the microphone.
Prayer means hope. Prayer, Is it ready? Prayer means hope.
Great. Anyone has any other answer?
Prayer is connecting with the divine.
There are more answers?
Prayer is connecting with your beliefs in your community.
Great. So, along my speech, please think about this question. How has witnessing or participating in diverse practices enrich your understanding of spirituality and foster connections between the people from various backgrounds or your culture? I arrived at Catalina 2.5 years ago. On September the 5th, 2021, I had my first Mass ever. Walking into chapel, I told myself this was something I could endure. It's just an hour, listening and sitting for an hour. And it will be relevant to me. Why? Because I'm not religious. However, it's not like this. I suddenly got really perplexed by everything. For example, like you guys do in the name of Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit as a specific moment. Or like you respond to the priest. And I don't know of these because my family is not religious and we never experienced that. Later on, for every Mass, I would walk out with perplexed face from the chapel. Then I learned what all these means in my religion class through like Judaism, Christianity, and Catholicism. Then it was my second year. So Dr. Bruno was my Spanish teacher, and I walked in my Spanish classroom, and the first thing Dr. Bruno said was, at the beginning of each class, we are going to say Ave Maria, which is a prayer. Again, of course, I don't know what it was. First, I'm not religious. Second, Spanish is not my first or second language. Until Dr. Bruno suddenly said, "De pie por favor," stand up please, in Spanish. I had a whole flashback. So, 3 years ago, I had my virtual revisit day, and I luckily chose Dr. Bruno's group. So I entered a Zoom meeting, and after saying hi to me, Dr. Bruno said, "De pie por favor." And everyone just suddenly stood up in front of their screen and saying something I've never heard before. Not only because it was 3:30 a.m. in the morning, but also it was in Spanish. Now let's go back to my Spanish class. And then Dr. Bruno gave us a handout having Ave Maria on it. Now, please join me with a prayer. If you want to pray, please stand up, and there will be English translation beside. All right. En el nombre del Padre, del Hijo, y del Espíritu Santo. Dios te salve María, llena eres de gracia. El Señor es contigo. Bendita tú eres entre todas las mujeres, y bendito es el fruto de tu vientre Jesús. Santa María, Madre de Dios, ruega por nosotros pecadores, ahora y en la hora de nuestra muerte. Amen. Later on, Dr. Bruno told us that we could add whatever we want to pray for after Ave Maria. Soon, I can finally master the ritual prayers or Ave Maria. I start to pray before everything that I think that is important for me. A math test, a cross-country meet, a basketball game, or anything. I thought as long as I prayed, I could get whatever I want. However, the world doesn't operate like that. There are two examples. First, I prayed last year before my Calc BC exam. I was like, dear Lord, I pray for that I could get really, really great grades because I worked so hard on it. Guess what? 71 I got. 69 before the curve. And then this second example, I throw discus in track and field, the little disc. And then I say, dear Lord, I pray for that. Please let me exceed my PR because I've been practicing so hard. And I will even do the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit on the disc. Guess what? All the 3 throws in that invitational, disqualified. Then I realized something is wrong, especially mindset. I was overvaluing the literal meaning of prayer and thinking about the benefit, what prayers can bring to me too much. So I reflect for a while, thinking, what should I do? And then I found out that prayer is a way that can help me alleviate my pressure before anything that is important to me. In the Chinese traditional culture, prayer far exceeds the rituals, and often get in touch with one's place in the universe. Guowei Wang's 3 realms of poetic inquiry delves into the realm of the physical, the emotional, and the intellectual, emphasizing the interconnectedness among one's enlightenment. First realm, in Chinese, 昨夜西风愁碧树，独上高楼，望尽天涯路. The English translation was, last night the west breeze blew wizard leaf off the tree. I mounted the tower high and strained my longing eye. In this scene, the author created a desolate atmosphere by telling the wind blew the leaf off the trees. So sitting on a tall building alone and looking at the world, they reflect the vastness of the world and contemplating about the endless road that far beyond their sight. It gives metaphor of challenges and uncertainty of life and the solace in solitary contemplation. In the process of study, we must endure loneliness, look forward, and constantly seek. So that is the physical phase, which is the first realm. How does it connect it to me? When I first started learning prayers, of course I'm lonely because I have so many friends that are already familiar with this, and they grew up in this environment. And then I look forward, and I constantly seek and learn. Then I know what it was. So the second realm, in Chinese, it says, 衣带渐宽终不悔，为伊消得人憔悴. Translated into English, it is, I won't regret even if the belt on my robe grows looser, for you it's worth being wan and haggard. So during the process of learning, you must persevere and endure. And the loosening belt in this poem represent a passage of time or the sacrifice to love. Although the process might be suffering, but at the end, we'll have a resolute solution, which is the commitment to love. And the author doesn't harbor regrets for the choices he made. Therefore, during the journey or the process of learning, you must endure challenging. This is the emotional phase, which is also connected to me. Because when I just started prayers, I of course have some challenges because I don't know anything. And I have to accept the challenge and keep learning. Then I will know what it was. So the third phase. In Chinese, it says, 众里寻他千百度，蓦然回首，那人却在灯火阑珊处. In English, it translated to, 1,000 times I searched for her in the crowd, and suddenly, turning my head, discover her where the lantern lights are dim. So in this poetry, the author is searching for someone persistently in a crowded or complex environment. He finds it really difficult. However, suddenly he glanced back, and the person he was looking for was right behind him. So we know that what we seek may be closer or more apparent when we least expect it. We might just constantly seek an environment, and finally we turn back. That's epiphany. This is the intellectual phase, which is also connected to me. So when I just learn prayers, of course I won't have epiphany. I endure a lot of challenges. Like, I overvalue in a literal meaning of prayers or thinking of benefits, so I failed a test, disqualified for the game, all the things. And then I constantly seek. And I stopped to reflect myself, and I just look back. Then I will have epiphany. I find the way that prayer means to me. It is a way to alleviate my pressure. So different people will have different emotions or benefit or purpose of praying. Some people pray for their own benefits, or pray for other people, or pray just to alleviate stress, or it's a daily thing. And you guys will have different emotions. This is the intellectual phase. So, during the prayer, my journey, I suffer a lot of difficulties and stress because I started from an unknown condition. I know nothing. Just like what the three poetic realm it is, you will find difficulties, uncertainties, and disconnections through the journey. Then you wait, you look back, you will find your epiphany, as I said before. You'll suddenly find your connection between the spiritual activity or the prayer, or between your culture, and then you will find yourself there, and you will gain whatever you're going to gain. All right, so remember we talk about what does the prayer mean to you? And several people answered the question. And then think about the first question, the long question I asked. How does the prayer connect you between your culture and all other spiritual activities? Your answer might change as the times goes by because you will experiencing different life events, or you will have different culture experiences, like living in other countries or married to someone from other culture. For me, prayer serves as a universal bridge that connects us among the culture, belief, or traditions. And I found it is a way for me to alleviate stress. So try to find your meaning of prayers, and it will grow as you develop. Thank you.